If you're just a student who's planning to come to Canada to study, watch this video because this video is going to contain 10 very important tips that are essential for any international student coming to Canada in order to be successful in this country. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Saurabh Kulkarni and I make videos about Canada, about East Coast in particular. So, are you ready? Okay, perfect. Let's get into the video then without wasting any more time. Number one, be on time. Anyone who comes from Asian countries, make sure that you pay attention, you pay conscious attention to this fact. Because in Canada, if a thing is supposed to start at 9:30, it will start at 9:30. It will not be preponed or postponed, it will always be on time. Number two, if you are an 18, 19-year-old coming to Canada for your undergraduate university, or even if you are, let's say, coming for your master's in any of the universities, make sure that you know what your routine is. This is very important because back home, back in India, people still live in their parents' house, their mom and dad do everything for them, but that's not the case here. You have to take care of yourselves, right? Basic thing that will keep you on track is if you have a routine, if you go to bed on time, if you eat food on time, if you know what your schedule is, if you set aside time for study, if you set aside time for work, and if you set aside time for socializing, you're going to have a healthy life. You'll be surprised how many people don't do it. And primary example is me. When I was 18, when I came to Canada as an international student, my schedule for 4 years was haywire. I would go to bed at 3 a.m. I'd wake up at 10 a.m. Now I know that this is glorified in the movies, or this is also, this is the first taste of the newfound freedom that your mom and dad aren't telling you when to go to bed and when to wake up. But this is very important because this keeps you on track and on schedule and does not let you sway away from your goals. So plan a routine and stick to it. So if you have been watching my videos in the past, you would know that I talk a lot about finances and about how expensive this country can be. I mean, you won't doubt that, right? I mean, I come from a country where the exchange rate to one Canadian dollar at this point is about 54 rupees. That's 54 times the amount that you'll be paying. If you haven't done your planning of finances, it could royally screw you up. In a country where a credit score and a credit card is so important, so make sure that whenever you have time, you sit down with your notepad and you make a budget and you make sure that your finances are on track. And in Canada, it's mostly based on digital economy. So make sure that whatever bank you're with, you install their app in your phone and make that app your best friend. If you're bored, just check your bank account. You know, this helps you kind of stay on track and does not let you sway away from your finances. And at the end of the day, a lot of stress that students go through in Canada is mostly because of finances. And not because they don't have money, but just because their money is badly managed. Number four, make sure that you base your schedule out for one whole year. What that means is you should be working towards a goal or a schedule that is planned 1 year in the future. What that does is it kind of makes you focus on one particular goal. Now this goal could be your long-term goal, your short-term goal, it doesn't matter. If your long-term goal is to become a citizen of Canada, then your short-term goal should be getting good marks in your university, because good marks would translate into good, like proper degrees would translate into a good job would translate into permanent residency would translate into citizenship. Right, do you get that? So it's called a work-back schedule. So if you have a work-back schedule, it's going to help you to stay on track. I mean, live in the day, of course. Enjoy every day that you have, but also make sure that you have a plan for your future. Number five. Oh my God, I cannot stress this more. Cook your own food. Meal prep is very, very, very important in Canada. And the reason being that eating outside is very expensive. Just to give you an example, in New Brunswick, your minimum wage is $11.25 and the cost of an average meal is $12. So whatever you earn in 1 hour is basically going to feed you for those 3 hours. So just make sure that you cook at home, because you can buy $100 worth of groceries and use those groceries for 2 weeks instead of eating out every day. I have been a personal victim of this. I used to eat out a lot. I did not cook for 4 months, and oh my god, I could not make any savings. I cannot stress this enough. Now that I have this job, I have a routine life, I have kind of set up myself in a way where I have a schedule and I cook at home more often than not. I'm saving so much money. And that's not just the case with me. All of my friends who are working at this point are experiencing the same thing. So make sure that eat as much as you can at home, cook as much as you can, and go out when it is absolutely necessary. What this does is it keeps you fed. It's going to help you have proper nutrition in your body, and your body is going to be your soul's best friend. And the combination of both these is going to keep you de-stressed and is going to help you be successful in this country. Number 6, put yourself first. When I say put yourself first, what that means is if you have something on priority, you should do that, regardless of what others think. Is because other people are not going to judge you here for putting yourself first, because everyone does that. And when you put yourself first, when you say that, I'm sorry, I cannot go out with you because I have to go home and cook and eat, people will think that, oh man, why is he doing like that? But nobody's going to take it to heart, right? And they will actually allow you to do it. So what you've done at this point is you've saved money, you've properly cooked, you've gone back to number 5, and you have taken care of yourself. This also allows you to keep a steady hand on your studies, because there are times when you'll be distracted. You'll be going to parties and you'll be meeting people, and you'll probably find a significant other and go on dates with them. For the 4 years that you come here to study, 4 years, 2 years, whatever, you come here to study, you're here to study at this point, right? So make sure that you do maintaining your priorities in life. Number 7, accept your reality. Canada is cold. Canada is individualistic. Canada is a friendly place. Canada is also very expensive, and Canada is also one of the most caring places you will ever be in. And that's just the reality of your life. You have chosen this. Nobody's forcing you to do this. So make sure that you accept your reality and you kind of assimilate into the culture. If you assimilate into the culture, if you kind of accept the culture, accept the reality of what you're living at this point, and do not live in the fantasy world, and actually live in your present and do everything that normal Canadians do, you'll be much more likely to be successful in this country. If you keep fighting the cultural nuances where you say that, oh, I'm Indian and I'm always going to be Indian, I'm sorry. If you're Indian, there is a part of you which is going to be Indian, but that Indian also now has to share space with that Canadian that is in you when you decided to come to this country. If you're going to live as an Indian in Canada, you're not going to be successful for a long time. You're going to be living as an Indian Canadian in Canada, and you actually accept and you participate in the Canadian society, there is a big chance for you to become successful in this country. Okay, so number 8 is actually very important to do. It may not sound very important, but here it is. Get into the habit of having a small talk. What that means is when you're walking down the street, you may see somebody who's your friend, somebody who you know, acquaintances, even people that you do not know in Canada would be willing to speak to you, and they would want to speak to you. What that means is you're walking down the street and suddenly this other person smiles at you, and you smile at them, and then they're like, hey, so how's it going, or how you doing, or how's the weather? And you'd be people are like, whoa, like, I don't know how to answer this, or I don't know who you are and why should I be talking to you. But just to let you know, this is just a part of the Canadian culture. It's actually very sweet and very warm, and I really enjoy it. That I could strike up a conversation with any random person on the street, just speak those 2 or 3 sentences and get along on my way. It makes you happy, it makes that person happy, and you know what? At the end, we're all just spreading happiness in this world, and that's not going to hurt, right? Number 9, this is very important. Remove all the biases and stereotypes that you have in your head. When you are in your home countries, you're surrounded by people that are basically the same. So in India, you're mostly surrounded by Indians itself. And when you have not interacted with a person of the other culture or the other sexes or the other genders that you have, there is a high chance that you do not know what the correct language to use is. Now, just keep in mind that Canada is a multicultural society, right? And in a multicultural society, it's very important for you to understand and respect the other person, respect them because of their genders, because of their sexes, because of their religion, because of their race, ethnicity, everything. In Canada, this society has a lot of diversified people. People from all 196 countries in the world live in this country, and people of all 52 genders are in this place, and people of all different sexes, and people of all different races, and people who are mixed in their ethnicity, and indigenous people. Oh my God, they're the most important people that you should be talking about, that you should be respecting, the indigenous people of Canada. So remove all the biases and stereotypes. Come with your values and your culture with you, but don't keep up the biases in your head that certain people are certain this way, or certain people are that way, or certain people only do this, or certain genders only do that. That is only going to land you in trouble, is because people are very, very, very aware of these things in this country. So if you are wanting to be successful in this country, make sure that you remove your biases and your stereotypes that you have formed over the years in your head, and treat everyone, and I literally mean everyone, with respect, because that is what is going to help you to be a successful person, not only in Canada, but also a successful person in your university. It's going to enrich your education. Make sure that you do everything that is going to make you not only a successful student, but a successful part of the Canadian society. And number 10, this is a big, big thing to all the Desi people. The biggest advice I can give you is, and the biggest thing that I can explain to you at this point, is that something happens when a lot of Indian people get together, a lot of Pakistani people get together, a lot of Chinese people get together. The thing is that people start forming bubbles, because that is what is known to us, that is what is endearing to us. And being a part of a bubble is only going to restrict you. It's only going to make you stay in your comfort zone. And you know what they say, right? When you end up in your comfort zone for a long time, it means that you're doing something wrong. This is a multicultural society. Go get involved in multicultural organizations. Make friends from different parts of the world. Enjoy the Canadian culture. Be a part of the Canadian culture. And be involved in the society that is out of your comfort zone. Be involved, be a part of the society, of the fabric that is out of your comfort zone. In universities especially, you have a lot of multicultural organizations, you have a lot of religious organizations at the same time. You could be involved in those, and they're a great resource to meet a lot of people. The International Center at every university and college would be more than willing to help you out with your journey. You should be able to enjoy the glass of beer, you should be able to enjoy those garlic fingers, and you should be able to enjoy that seafood with the same kind of people. You should be able to enjoy sushi and Chinese food, a jambalaya rice from Africa, and Mexican food, because that is what Canada stands for. Canada is a mosaic of cultures. There's so many cultures here, and the education system is focused on including everyone in this fabric. So if you are coming to university and you want to be a successful student at the end of the day, and by success I don't mean just marks, by success I mean a growth in your personality and your development, make sure that you do not just stick to the Indian bubble, that you do not just stick to your cultural bubble, that you actually get out of your comfort zone and you talk to people and you make friends. That is going to make an immense difference in the education experience that you have. While other people would be like, oh, that was so boring, I just went there and I studied and I didn't do anything and blah, 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 and I didn't have a good time. You, on the other hand, would have a plethora of experience, and your education experience is actually going to be much more successful than other people. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. What hitting the like button does is that it puts my video up in the browse category, and so when people who are looking to come as students to Canada would be able to view my videos in the top 5 videos, and this would help them. If you have any questions or concerns, as always, make sure that you leave a comment down below. You tell me what topic should I make the video on next, and what do you expect from me, and what kind, if you are really enjoying the content at this point. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more honest opinions, for more honest reviews, and for more honest commentary on things in Canada, and to give you guys tips so that you really can be successful in this country. Thank you so much for watching all my videos, and I will see you in the next video.